Welcome to the Guitar Log. Today we have a fantastic vintage guitar, a 1964 Gretsch Chet Atkins Country Gentleman. This guitar is great if you rock, it's great if you play country, jazz, any point in between, and it's really a treat for your hands and your ears. Let's take a listen. Hello everybody and welcome to the Guitar Log. This is Brian and glad you're joining us. If you're new to the channel, I want to invite you to subscribe so you can get more videos like this to check out different guitars. This all started out as a way for me to basically just document and keep a video record of them, and also let other people hear what they sound like, get an idea for if it's something that might be suitable for you and what you play. And I do it with just an iPhone and the cheapest of equipment. I don't go out there and get fancy mics or video editing software. I just do it all on my phone and give you a real world sense of what the guitars do when plugged into an amp or acoustic or whatever they are. So with all that said, today I have for you a treat. This is a wonderful guitar. This is a 1964 Gretsch Country Gentleman. Really nice vintage piece that I bought from Black Rider Vintage Guitars in Lexington, Kentucky a few years ago. Back in 2007, I believe, so about 13 years ago. I've had this guitar for a while. This is a wonderful guitar, a 56-year-old piece of wood, mahogany at that just sounds great and has its own unique flavor. These guitars, of course, known for their namesake, the one and only Chet Atkins. It's the Chet Atkins Country Gentleman, and with that being said, it's too much guitar for me when I'm mentioning Chet's name in it. But with all that said, these guitars also came to be widely known, of course, by George Harrison playing on the Ed Sullivan Show with the Beatles. He played a 63, I believe. If I'm wrong, you Beatles fans, I'm sure will correct me on that. But his had the different tuners, but it had the Harrison appointments as they call them. So a few things different, but for the most part, it's pretty much similar to this guitar. Now that being said, some things have been changed on this guitar. It got refinned with some cheap paint at some point that apparently the guitar shop told me they removed it, pretty much just chipped right off. It was like really cheap junky stuff. This is what was underneath. So this is what you got. The fake F holes, those are painted on. They're not an actual cut in the body. They didn't start doing that until like 72, I think. Gretsch started doing that. It's got the tone, or the pickup selector, the tone switch, which will either darken when you push it down, brighten it up a little bit when you flip it up. I leave it in the middle mainly because I like just the pure tone. You've got a volume for each of the two pickups, for the bridge and for the neck. And you've got a mute switch right here, which can be turned off and on. So if I'm playing, it's off. You can see what it does. And then you've got a master volume. The master volume knob is new to this guitar, and you can tell it's a lot brighter than some of the others. It has the original Bigsby tremolo, which is a big deal for this guitar. That's one of the things that I love about it. I love a Bigsby, and this is the original from '64. Original tuners. The pickups are not original. The bridge is original. The pickups are not. These are some really nice Filtertrons that took the place of the original pickups. And while it's not the original pickups, they still sound fantastic, and they're a really great sounding piece of equipment. So with all that said, when you flip it over, you can see on the back side we've got the anti-scratch pad here. It's just like buttons like you'd see on a pair of jeans or something here. So when I flip that down, you can see it exposes your access to the control cavity. And you can put that back on, and guess what? You won't scratch up your guitar with a buckle rash, so that's really nice. Again, the original tuners, a lot of parts are original, unoriginal pickups, and a new knob was put here. But again, if you're like me, you like to play great stuff. It's missing the pick guard as well. Looked into getting one of those. They're ridiculously priced if you find one that's an original, because they're hard to find that aren't on a guitar. And I just figure, hey, I'm going to leave it as it is. Also, this guitar would have come with string mutes that would have popped up here. There's a push-pull right here that would push them up, and it would just mute the strings for you. That wasn't something I was going to use. It's in my guitar case for it. I never put them back in. I started trying to figure it out one day and thought, this isn't worth the trouble, so I didn't do it. But instead, I've got a fantastic Gretsch without the string mutes. They're just in the case because I wasn't going to use it. So let's give it a whirl here and listen to it a little bit. We're going to be listening through a 65 amps London Pro. And let's start off clean with the bridge pickup, and I'll show you a little bit about what that tone switch does as it adjusts. So let's just start off here, turn the mute switch off. Adjust it the other way. And I don't know that this is so much of a brighter tone, but maybe it adds a little bit of high mid. But for the most part, I like it in the middle. So that gives you an idea of what it does, and it'll do that for any of these positions. The middle, you know, I try to come up with a new word to use here, but I always use the same word. Jangly is the tone I always think of in middle pickup positions. So you can hear it here. So really nice for rhythm strumming. And then the neck pickup, really nice and full. You know, again, just a really nice sounding guitar. Now let's also do it with a little bit of dirt. I like playing it that way. I usually play a little bit of grit in my tone, and this guitar takes it well. And the strings, you know, each string is, you know, individually, it rings out. You don't just lose it in a big wash of distortion usually, and I like that, you know, about this guitar. Hear how that stands out. So when you go to the middle, it's really good for those kind of, you know, strumming patterns, you know, just for big open cowboy chord type stuff. And you get the point. It maintains note clarity. Can't play well, but you know, you hear what I'm saying. And then the neck pickup, pretty good thick sound there. So, you know, again, just a fantastic sounding guitar. The 1964 Gretsch Country Gentleman. And again, you know, you can play, you know, all kinds of stuff. You can play real, you know, strummy chord stuff. I like to use the guitar, you know, for playing, you know, a lot of delay on stuff. I don't have a delay pedal hooked up right now, but you know, I'll play those little melodic lines. Because it's really nice that you get that note clarity out of it, you know. Get that U2 thing going, you know, But again, a fantastic guitar, one of the classics out there, the Gretsch Country Gentleman. And you know, again, if you're a Beatles fan, you're probably going to be into this guitar. If you're a U2 fan, the Edges use these a little bit. If you're a Chet fan, you can do the classic Chet sounds out of it. It's just a versatile guitar that has its own unique tone. You know, I've got a lot of Les Pauls, got a lot of Strats and Tellys, had a lot over the years, but only Gretsches sound like Gretsches. I can kind of, you know, make other guitars, you know, fake it and, you know, sound like other guitars. Only a Gretsch had weird, round, bubbly sound. And I don't, if you've played one, you know what I'm talking about, but they're their own unique beast. And this one's a great one to have in my collection. You know, again, 1964 Gretsch Country Gentleman. This one doesn't even have the typical binding rot that you see on a lot of these guitars. For some reason, that has stayed in good condition. But, you know, the original Bigsby, great sounding guitar. You know, I highly recommend it if you get a chance to get one to pick it up. And, you know, again, you know, keep working at your tone, keep working at your craft. You know, as guitar players, that's what we're all about, the chasing and the seeking of our ultimate tone, which we're never going to get, but we're going to have a fun time, you know, going after it. So keep going after it, and make sure to check back at this site, you know, subscribe, and check out what we do here. And in the meantime, have fun playing your guitar. So a little side note here today, I want to share with you one of my faves. This is a blue Herdim pick. You heard me mention how U2 used some of these guitars. Well, the Herdim pick was something that the Edge has used for years, and when you hear it, like it's got the nice smooth edge on the pointy end, but this side is all these little ridges, not ridges really, more like raised dots, and you get this really nice percussive thing when you do it. So let you hear the same line played with the smooth part and then with the rough part, okay? So like a U2 thing, you know. There's the smooth. Now listen to the rougher side. Hear that again. There's the smooth. Let's hear the rough. You can kind of scrape it a little bit, and it gives you a really neat sound that sounds a little bit different. I really like this for parts that have a lot of delay. And again, I don't have a delay pedal in front of me, but you get the idea. It kind of gives you a little bit more percussiveness to the note. So, a little tip for the day: check out the blue Herdim pick. Or you can get a red one, I think, too, that I think are the thinner ones. There's probably a larger gauge, too. You have to order them. They're hard to find sometimes, but, you know, really neat little piece of gear advice that someone gave me a long time ago, and I'm glad they did, because it's, you know, something I use a lot.